Hey guys, it's Drea. Today I am doing my Project Pan update for the end of March, beginning of April. First of all, I wanted to say, before I even get into that, I just recorded a quarantine self-care tag that will be up before this video. If you haven't seen it, I really encourage you to go watch it. I really wanted it to be something to help us all kind of come together and get through this and kind of like commiserate in a light way, do recommendations, just kind of get through this quarantine together. So go check that out if you haven't yet and share it. That really helps out. I would like to see just kind of like positivity kind of flow from this. And I'd love to see other people do this tag if you were a YouTuber, Instagram or whatever, or if you know there's one that you'd like to see do this, or if you just want to do it. I've always said that if you just have like one Instagram and you just want to do a tag, just do it. Like, just do it. Anyways, I wanted to say that really quickly. But this is my Project Pan update. You guys, let me tell you, I have so many things coming out. I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things coming out of this. And there's only 10 products in this rolling Project Pan. So there's going to be a lot to talk about here. So let's just get into it. First of all, let's talk about 2 things that I hit pan on. So excited. This one actually I only had in this project for 1 month. I was closer to hitting pan on it than I thought I was. This is my Maybelline Master Chrome Metallic Highlighter in Molten Rose Gold. This is my favorite drugstore highlighter of all time. It is the highlighter that I'm wearing today. It is so gorgeous and glowy. And I hit significant pan on it. You can see, look at all that pan in the middle of there. I am really happy about this because I've had this for so long. Love this highlighter. I'm not sick of it at all, but I am going to move on to a different highlighter. My goal was to actually hit pan on this. Normally I just bring in a highlighter every month just to use, just to get some use out of it. But this time I actually wanted to hit pan, so I did. Now that was only in there for a month. This has been in here for, I don't even know how long, like 4 or 5 months now. This is my Body Shop bronzing powder in the shade Medium Matte. And I did hit pan on this. I am so happy because it seemed to take forever. The goal on this was not to use it up, just to hit pan on it. And obviously you can see there is quite a bit of pan there. I might bring this back in the future. I'm actually wearing this today because I have kind of fallen in love with it. It really works well with my skin tone. It blends really well. It's easy to use. I might bring this back in the future, but for now I just kind of want to move on to other things. I'm not going to bring in another bronzer because I'm testing some bronzers out for other stuff, but I probably will in the future bring in another bronzer. Okay, I used up my MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus. This was actually the coconut one, but I had to transfer it into this bottle here just because the other bottle broke. So I had been using a consistent amount every month. This is where we were last month, and it's completely used up. I love using up MAC products because of course you can back to MAC them. Not now, but hopefully in the future. So that's all gone, and I have repurchased that. I love Fix Plus, but I love the coconut one. I love the scent of it. Okay, this is a Laura Mercier container, but this is not the Laura Mercier powder. This was my RCMA No Color powder that I had depotted into this container, and I had been using it for 3 full months. So this line here is the first, this is the second, and then this line is the last month of update. So that was the end of February, and it's completely done. I'm going to keep this container. It's just a really good container to have if I ever want to put another powder in it. But that's all gone. And you guys, I had that RCMA powder since I want to say the first year of my channel. So that took a lot to get through it. I really like that powder. I still recommend it. It's really great. It's good for baking. It's good for setting your eyes. It's good for all over the face. There's no flashback. It's a really good powder, but I'm glad it's gone. Okay, this is something I did not finish, but I'm taking out anyway. And I talked about this when I brought it into my project pan last month. I wasn't sure if I was going to keep it in, and I'm not going to. This is the Covergirl Outlast Active 24-Hour Foundation. This is in the shade 820. This is the foundation that is on my face right now. I just wanted to wear it so you guys could see it one time what it looked like. So I did get quite a bit of use out of this. I was pretty much only exclusively wearing this for 2 full weeks in March, and then kind of the corona thing happened, so I kind of wasn't wearing makeup for a while, and then I started using some other stuff. So, but what happened was I was using this when my store was still operating. I work very long days, you know, with commute. Usually it's 12 hours minimum before I take off my makeup. Sometimes it's 16 or 18, and this oxidizes. It turns me a little bit orange. I just put this on about an hour ago, so it's still fine. But by the end of the day, a lot of the time I don't like the way the color looks on my face, and I do get really oily with this. In the next month, that's not going to matter so much because I'm going to be at home and not wearing makeup for long periods of time. But I just don't really like the way this looks. I think right now it looks nice. It is a medium coverage foundation, and it definitely has those kind of skin-like properties that I really love. I don't like mask type like flat foundations. I like ones that have life to them, and this one does. I just don't like the way it looks after a while, so I'm gonna take this out. I'm not gonna get rid of it though. I might try to use this up. I don't know. I'm just gonna keep it. I don't have any decisions on it yet. Okay, last 2 things that I'm taking out. This palette here, my goal was to hit pan on 2 shades. I did not hit pan on 2 shades. This is the Tarte Pro palette, the original. I hit pan on 1 shade, and I have a significant dip in the other one. This is the color I hit significant pan on. That is the shade called Classic. And then this one up here, right here, is called Bold. There's no pan on it. You can see there's a very deep dip though. It's really hard to get the camera to focus on this because of all the gold, but you can see there's a very deep dip in that one. And I just don't like the way that color looks. It doesn't work with my skin tone. It looks a little bit muddy most of the time. And so I've kind of stopped using that because I just don't like the way it blends with my eyeshadow looks. But I'm happy that I used this palette for a while. I was using other colors here and there, obviously. And now I actually reach for this a lot if I just need like a black or something, or a dark brown, because I know that it's in here. So I have been getting a lot more use out of this. This here was my palette of the month. Every month I bring in a palette to use minimum 5 times, and I just do that to get more use out of my palettes and to kind of review it for you. So this is the Colored Rain Queen of Hearts palette, and I used this 5 times. March was a weird month, we all know. I expected to use this a lot more than I did, but I did not use it a lot more than I did. Anyways, here's what this palette looks like if you've not seen it. Interestingly enough, I noticed this weird resurgence of this palette being promoted in advertising on Instagram in different ways at the end of February, beginning of March, but like after I had decided to bring it into this. So that's kind of interesting, don't you think? Like they're kind of trying to re-promote this palette. It was just weird timing. But anyway, I do like this palette, but lately it's just been boring me. So the color scheme, I feel like this color scheme was so popular about 2 years ago. This like modern renaissance, right, is what brought this out. This like purpley, deep burgundies, oranges, dark browns. This type of palette you've seen 100 times now from different brands, and I'm just kind of bored of it. There's nothing wrong with the quality of this. In fact, when I was using it, I remembered just how good the quality of Colored Rain eyeshadows are. They blend so well, so easily, so nicely, and the shimmers are gorgeous. Here, I'll just swatch 2 of the shimmers and 2 of the mattes. I don't love swatching a ton of stuff in these videos, but I'll swatch these just so you can get an idea. Oh, that gold is gorgeous. And look at the mattes too, like super pigmented, just like really opaque and rich, and it's really great quality. I don't know, I haven't really kept up with Colored Rain and if they have done more palettes in the, I know they did that celebration palette, but like do they put out palettes anymore? I don't even know. So, but if they do, I do recommend their formula. It's great. I'm just kind of over this color scheme and ready to move on to other things. So there are only 2 things that I am keeping in this project. And by the way, last month I had a snafu where I didn't bring in enough. So I only had 9 things that I was using last month. I don't know how that keeps happening to me, but I only have 2 left. So I'm going to be bringing in 8 things instead of the 7 that I'm taking out. But anyway, these are the 2 that are still in my project. So this is the Ordinary High Adherence Silicone Primer, High Adherence Blurring Surface Smoother and Primer. I probably will try to use this up in its entirety, like cut it open and use it all up. It's hard to show you progress on this kind of thing because, you know, it is what it is. But I think I'm going to use up the entire thing. I have other primers I want to get to using. This one helps your makeup stick to your face better, but it doesn't mattify. So like for example, in an area like my nose or chin that I see my makeup kind of disappear throughout the day, I notice with this it stays on better, but it doesn't do anything for my actual oiliness or oil levels. I still have to blot the same amount that I always do. Okay, so this is my L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer in the shade 360 Cashmere. I'm wearing this today. It's a good concealer. It's not my favorite in the world. It's a little bit drying. I'm going to try to rush through this because I've talked about this for months now. But what I wanted to tell you is last month I said for sure it would be done. It's not. I pulled out the stopper though, and you can see when you pull out the stopper, lots of product still comes out on the wand, but this is so close. Can you see in there? I know this is tough because it's dark, but I am going to scrape the sides and there's still just the tiniest little bit of product on the bottom. So this will definitely be done by next month. It just goes to show you how much product is left in there after you pull out a stopper. More than a month's worth. More than a month. If I do finish this up before the end of this month, and I fully think that I will, it'll probably only take maximum 10 more days. I will start a new concealer before my next update, just because whatever my next concealer is that I'm going to bring into this, like there will be one in this project, and I don't want to actually like wait till the next update to start it. So anyways, those are the only 2 things that are staying in and that are being updated. So I have 8 things to talk about that I'm bringing into this project. This one, let's begin with. This is the Sui Revitalizing Rose Mist. This isn't a setting spray. It's not even, I don't even think it's really meant for over makeup. It's just a revitalizing skincare face spray, and it does smell like roses. I've had this now for a year and a half and I barely used it. So I'm probably gonna keep this in my bathroom. I love to do my whole skincare routine and then use a facial mist after that. Currently I'm using the Kopari one, but I'm just gonna put this in there and use this going forward. And I haven't marked this yet, but you can clearly see how much is in there. I'm going to bring in 2 different powders. So I brought out the RCMA, I'm gonna bring in 2. The reason for 2 is because this one is the one that I'm using under my eyes. I have a feeling this will take a long time for me to actually finish because I only use it under my eyes. This is the Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder. I marked it yesterday with a starting point, so it's like halfway. But I don't think I use very much of this every month, so this might be in here for a long time. And then the next one is going to be my face powder. This is the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores. I don't think this is a full size. I mean, it's smaller than most powders. 0.23 ounces. Anyways, I got this as a gift, but I do like this powder. I don't think it's super mattifying, and I don't know why it's called Bye Bye Pores because I don't really think it has anything to do with like filling in my pores personally, but it is a good, you know, just everyday face powder. So there's the marking on that. Same similar thing halfway, but I'm sure this one will go faster because I'm going to use it over my whole face. This is the Makeup Revolution Fast Base Stick Foundation in the shade F6. I like this foundation a lot. It is too hydrating for me, and it is too hydrating for me to use at work, that's for sure. So I figured this is a good time to use it because, you know, I'm stuck at home. So here's how much we have left, and I like to measure things by the cap. So I just kind of put this right at the top, and then that is how much is there. There's not a lot, so I think I can probably use this up this month if I use it in most videos, and I think it's probably nearing the end of its life as well, so it would be a good thing to use it up. But I really do like this. It's a really full coverage foundation, but it's the best stick foundation I've ever used. I usually hate stick foundations, like I hate the Anastasia one. I have a review on that one on my channel. There's some other ones that I haven't liked. The Wet n Wild one, ugh, thumbs down. But I really like this one. It's just very even coverage. It looks very like a satin matte finish. It's really, really pretty. I decided to bring in another eyeliner. So I finished one a few months back, and this is the black one that I always reach for when I'm reaching for a black pencil eyeliner, which isn't very often, but today I used it. It's the only eyeliner you're seeing, so under and on my upper lash line. I wanted to do this black smoky eyeliner look today. I saw Bailey Sarian do a look like this on her Instagram and I loved it. So I tried to recreate it with this. But anyways, I measured this on this paper here, and that's where we are, where the black part is. Right there. This one is a good eyeliner. Like, it smudges really well, it goes on really easily, but it definitely transfers from top to bottom. So I don't like using it as just my upper lash line liner, because then if this is meant to be bare, I always get this kind of grayness down in this area. So I really only like to use this as a lower lash line, or if I'm doing both. So I don't use it all that often, but like you can see, I've used quite a bit of it already. So that will probably take a few months as well. I've decided to bring in a highlighter of the month. Don't necessarily want to hit pan on this, but I do want to use it a lot this month, and I want to see like how much use I can get. This is the Estee Lauder Bronze Goddess Illuminating Powder in Heat Wave. This is what this looks like, and it came out a few years ago. I want to say like 2 years ago maybe. It's very gold, but this looks gorgeous when my skin gets a little bit deeper. Look at this. That's so shiny. It's so stunning on the cheeks, so I really would love to use this a lot more. And part of the reason I want to use this one now is because Estee Lauder comes out with these Bronze Goddess collections every year, and I'm kind of tempted this year just because the packaging is so beautiful, but I don't really need it. So I figure if I can use this, I can maybe turn off that desire for newness, because I can realize just how good this one is. Do you know what I'm saying? This is the palette that I want to hit pan on a couple shades in. This is the Too Faced Gingerbread Spice palette, the original gingerbread one from 2018, not the extra spice that came out last year. But this one, I think, well, I've heard it's better. I don't know because I don't have the other one, but this one is really good palette, and I really enjoy this palette a lot. It's still kind of that warm color scheme, kind of like the Colored Rain, but it's a little bit different, probably because there's more variety in it. I just like this one a lot. It's really great quality, and it blends really well. It smells nice too. But the two shades I want to hit pan on are Powdered Sugar, which is the cream shade, and the reason for that is just I always set my Painterly paint pot with creamy color, just to like set it a little bit, so I always need that. And then this shade here, Looky at My Cookie, which is this kind of peachy shade. This is a lot better of a shade for me than the one in that Tartist palette was as a transition shade. So the Tartist one was a much too deep and too brown. This one is much more peach, and so this is a much better transition shade than that one was. So I think this will work out a lot better for me. It will take a few months. This is not going to happen in a month because that one color, Powdered Sugar, like there's almost no use on it at all. And there's just a nice close-up of the palette and what it looks like at this exact moment. And then for my palette of the month right now, I wanted to do something really springy. This is the Venus XL II. This is a gorgeous, beautiful springtime palette. Everything is gold today. It's making it hard to like show you, but I think you can see it's mainly pinks and greens. It's a really, really unique color story in this palette, and this is what I'm wearing today all over my eyes. I just stuck with just pinks today and just a little bit of shine, but very easy look. And I have used this palette a lot, but I feel like I always kind of put it away for a few months at a time, because it is something that when I grab it, I tend to grab the same shades. I tend to really go for like these two green colors a lot, and then I'll put it away and I'll only use those colors when I bring it out. So I would like to kind of just experiment with it a little bit more, kind of use some of the shades that I haven't used a lot. Maybe something like this I haven't used a lot, or like these ones, the more neutral shiny shades. That one, you know, whatever. Anyways, the point is I just want to try to use this differently than I have before and use it quite a bit this month because it is definitely a spring palette. All right, that is it for my project pan update. I know it's a lot, but I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you're having a great day. Subscribe if you're new around here. I'd love to see you around. And I hope that you are speaking to yourself kindly, especially when you look in the mirror. I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.